to book. As my other senators said, Madam Speaker, the issue of edible oil, it has been a big issue. Kenyans talked, Kenyans complained. The people who imported that oil are known. That oil was eventually actually declared that it is poisonous too. But what happened? They've never been brought to book to date. Not that this house did not speak, not that this house has not tried to even bring to book the people who imported that oil, but what happened? As usual, we got silent. So it is us Kenyans who are killing our country. Madam Speaker, I sit in a committee where we look at cohesion in this country. Madam Speaker, it is sad. As much as I want to agree, most of these things are historical. But what I want to tell our president today, Mr. President, you can be the person to bring change in this country. If you keenly look at what is happening, why these Gen Zs are complaining, they cannot get jobs. People are still getting employed from very few communities. In fact, to be precise, 2 communities only in this republic. Mr. President, you can be the person to bring change. If you want to bring change in this country, Mr. President, you have the means, you have the capacity, and I believe you have the will to do so, Mr. President. Please look at those issues. Please look at the Gen Zs outside there, those who don't have people who can speak for them. They are there outside. Madam Speaker, the Gen Zs who are protesting there, from what I've heard, most of them are our young people who are well learned, who have tarmacked for more than 5 years with very good degrees. Nowadays, it's not impossible to hear somebody had a first-class honors and they are tarmacking or they are outside there holding a placard, please give me a job. Why? And people are getting employed. This cake is enough for all of us to share. If only leaders can be fair. If only leaders can look at Kenya and say, this Kenya is ours, all of us. What we have, Madam Speaker, is enough for us to share. Madam Speaker, there are so many other issues which have made us reach where we are today. If you look at the issue budget, you don't have to be an expert in making budget to see that you can only have to look at it and slash quite a number of things. These things have been said here, and I want to thank the senators because they've come out with figures, they've come out with facts. You've told the nation what can change and how it can change. We've seen in this budget figures where there are allocations which can easily be slashed, which we can even just forget about them. We don't need to renovate homes. We don't need to buy cars. We don't need to have entertainment allowances in this country and at this time. Globally, things are bad. So why are we not following that? Why are we not looking at it? Why are we not hearing the cries of our people? Madam Speaker, these things are, I don't want to say they're easy because I'm sure as a nation we need to look at issues. But most of the bills and the laws that we pass in this house, Madam Speaker, without looking at the repercussions or what the effect it will have on our people is what has brought us to where we are today. The law of the housing bill. Madam Speaker, it has been done elsewhere. In Egypt, that law was done. People are always housed. Young people, as they get married, are housed. People are not overtaxed. But when the CS went out for public participation, Kenyans spoke. Kenyans had good ideas. But what happened? They decided to go their way. And that is where we are today. And overburdening Kenyans. The payslips have been slashed to nothing. Kenyans, that's why Kenyans are crying. Gen Zs have just led the way. But every Kenya, wherever they are crying. So I'll just want to urge this government. Please, Mr. President, Kenya is crying. Kenya is bleeding, and you can do it. You can make it, Mr. President. You just have to tighten your belt. You just have to tell your people, you just have to tell your friends that the game will not be the same again, that things will not be the same again, and things have to work in this country. Madam Speaker, there are so many issues this House always want to discuss with the CSs. But what happens? Most of them don't listen to us. They don't even come to when we call them. Why? Because most of them are clueless of what they're doing in their ministries. It is a very sad situation. We also have to appreciate there are a few of them who at least have worked very hard. And I believe they've supported the president in his agenda. But those who are clueless, Mr. President, why are you keeping them there? Kenyans have told you, it has been out there that this and this CS is not working. This and this CS is not competent. Why are you keeping them there? The repaying period is over, Mr. President. Look at what Kenyans are saying. Listen to what Gen Zs have told you and change this nation. Change this nation. We don't have to go the way we are going. We don't have to go south. We can all, if we all reflect and look at the way things are and where we can change, what we can give in, what we can allow to go on, I am sure Kenya will be a changed nation and will continue being a great nation just as we all wish to be. Madam Speaker, Parliament, the Gen Zs were crying to the parliamentarians to listen to them. I believe when they came here, those Gen Zs were harmless. Those Gen Zs did not have guns. It is so sad that they were even shot around the premises of Parliament. It is so sad that we lost our sons and daughters as they tried to reach us, to cry to us, to give them an ear that they tell us what they feel and what they know, but we didn't. Instead, what happened? The IG and his team came in, killing them one by one, not one, not two. The number has been said. Many are in hospitals, nursing gun woods. I would ask the IG, as the president said, it is an independent institution and your commission to take full responsibility and tell Kenyans, one, how many have you killed, how many are injured, and how many have you adopted? And please, IG, can you release the kids you are holding? Those are your children. Those are our children. It was so sad to see an armed officer crying that he has witnessed his own brother being shot outside Parliament. I think that should have been a waking up call for the uniformed police, that the kids who are outside there, the children who are outside there, are your brothers, are your children. So let's stop killing them. Let us talk to them. Let us embrace a listening society where we can be able to listen to each other, where we can be able to listen to those who put us into leadership positions. Madam Speaker, as I know time has gone, and I want to appreciate that you've given me a minute or so to talk about, I just want to say corruption has to be eliminated completely in this country. Corruption is killing us.
Senator Mondet, you have another 10 minutes, actually.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Madam Speaker, as I was saying, what is killing this country? It is corruption. We've taken corruption to the Church of Christ. We want to go and talk and campaign at the altars. Can this habit stop? Can we respect the Church of God? Can we be a prayerful nation? That's why these things are following us, because we've decided to take our bad habits to church, to go and show off that I can afford to bring 1 million, 2, 3, to 20. It started with 2, 3, 5, 10, cash money, 20 million to our churches. Can we stop that? Corruption is killing us. Gen Zs have told us it is there in the open. They are talking about it. They've posted everything. And there's nothing to hide. The Gen Zs are lucky that they're in this generation where they are on internet. Everything is in the open. And that is why they've really even told the Gen Alphas. And now Gen Alphas who are too young are even becoming more and more aggressive. So what kind of a community are we bringing up? Madam Speaker, I want to say that the issue of corruption, people who have supplied in counties are not being paid. When the governors come in, they don't want to touch what other governors did. While the people who supplied rightfully did that in those counties. But as the governors leave, they leave pending bills. They have made people poor. In fact, doing business, there was a time when counties came up, doing business with the counties was the in thing. Nobody wants to touch the counties now. What has happened? Whatever they get, they make money for themselves. They give jobs to their own people. They've refused to clear the pending bills. This house has spoken to that. Not once, not twice, so many times that governors, please, can you clear the pending bills? I want to believe that every year, if every governor, because they've done an audit of all what they have, if every governor took at least a portion every year, in 5 years, they will clear the pending bills. But what happens? Nobody wants to touch what they did not do. But what are we doing in return? We've killed our people. We've killed the young people. What happened to the businesses which were to go to the young people and women? What happened to them? 30%. Today, if we did a proper audit, I don't think there are any of those who get those jobs or those businesses in the counties. That would have helped this country a great deal. It would have taken us far, because I'm sure the people who came up with that formula that let's give 30% to the women and the marginalized and the young people, they knew they don't have the muscles to fight for these jobs. And mostly they look for the small jobs. They don't have the millions to do the big jobs. And yet they are not paid. This is a very sad situation. Most people are crying. People who have done businesses in counties have gone broke. Most people have become sick. Year after year, we have people who've done from 2010 to today, and they've never been paid. What are we doing to our nation? We are not addressing that as leaders. If we all came together from Parliament and this Senate, let us address the issue of pending bills. It's a big animal in this country. Madam Speaker, let me talk also about let me talk about the Gen Zs now. Gen Zs, you've made it. You've done what you were not able to do. You came out clear, tribeless, together, spoke in one language, the language of Kenya. You worked together. You outsmarted everybody. And you are able to do what you've done. You've been heard. You've made us hear you. Gen Zs, may you also desire that we have a governable country. A country which is going to be ruled by the rule of law. You are the leaders, and I don't want to call you leaders of tomorrow. You are leaders even today. And you've shown that you are leaders because you've shown us the way. Desire to have a better Kenya. We don't have another country. This is our nation. This is our motherland. And the way you can do it best is wake up. Take national identification cards. Take voting cards. Come out in large numbers in 2027. Vote the correct people. Don't vote by what you've been given or what somebody is offering, but vote good leaders who can govern this Kenya and steer it ahead to be a great nation as it was before. Thank you, and may God bless you all. God bless Kenya.
Honorable Senators, it is now 6:41 p.m. and having concluded the business for which I extended the hours of sitting pursuant to Order 34.2a, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, 9th July 2024 at 2:30 p.m.